Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 27 of Koganaros, the Fortress by the Sea, Season 4 of the Savage Lands. So we had a little bit of a work accident while building up the magma workshop in the last episode, but beyond that, everything went down fine. We are now fully magma powered, and we're dishing out green glass blocks at a regular basis. So I'm currently setting up the last bits and bobs of this system. You see, we got everything set up, just like I said. Between the episodes, I was constructing these. I don't know what just burned there in the magma slope. I think it's the metalsmith? Yeah. So one of our dwarves was stupid enough to be in the magma pit while delivering the magma down there. Quite tragic accident, in all honesty, but I hope it didn't endanger the project. So I know what has happened there and how it did happen. It was the splash of the magma bubbling upstairs, obviously. I'm really, really sad about the loss of this guy. Probably I shouldn't have had ramps there. Maybe it wasn't the splash, maybe it was just the ramp. Whatever, we got the stuff down where we wanted, and obviously there had to be one sacrifice to the magma. Oh well, it's a tragic accident, what can I say? The most important thing is we got ourselves now a fully fledged array of magma workshops. I don't have enough minecarts left for the second smelter, but I already said it in the last episode that I felt as if that would have been a tad bit of an overkill, so it's okay for on my end. I'm so happy that I now can deconstruct my old forges and get them going as magma forges. This is such a huge, massive upgrade. This really does make a big difference for us as a fortress, all in all. So let's see, we got all these down. I don't think I have another minecart left with magma. No. We had 20 of them. We filled, what's that? 6, 9, 10. Failed at 1, so yeah, well. If I need a second smelter, I'll be getting that up. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime too soon. So, up here at the bridge, fine progress has been made. So, I also assigned wrong wall jobs. I knew last episode that somewhere a slate wall would be smuggling in. We have to deconstruct these, sadly. So, also necessary on a substantial degree, I need to figure out where we can get ourselves new gabbro from. As it is clearly visible here, the sources here are limited. I'm going to shave out whatever I can, because I don't want to dig too far away from the main part of the fortress. You see, the thing is quite simple. We are here very close to our workshops. We don't need to carry that stuff too far. While if we would be going now for deeper layers, this will make the boulders go way further away, and that's a lot more work for us to transport the stuff afterwards, so this here is much more preferable. Also, it'll be quite interesting to see how the aquiferous rock is actually formed. Maybe we can dig around it, although my hope about that is dwindling with every chunk we mine out here. But as you see here, there's always bits and bobs where we can continue. Up here, well, I do see the end of this project. I do foresee it. But well, let's take as much as we can before we have to stop, I'd say. Here we clearly reached the end. Let's check it out here. There should be some more. And here, well, let's see. I will dig out the kaolinite because I am definitely interested in clay. I should definitely also consider porcelain at some points of our fortress. Anyways, so this should get us somewhere for a while, but it surely will not get us through the entirety of the project, because, well, alone the pillars of this thing will eat up huge amounts of material. And here my blokes have again outdid themselves. So building walls upstairs is a really finicky and atrocious task, even with DF hack. I keep needing... They need so much supervision in this department. I really do regret that I didn't foresee that in my plans. But beyond that, look at that. I got the feeling as if my stonecutters are massively much better. The assignment of these areas is getting done much faster. This is making me getting me into a lot of hope for future projects, for the future of this project, I should rather say, because that means we will get the stuff done faster in the future. But I also see that my dwarfs are starting to move slower. I don't have any FPS counter going, but it's clearly visible that we do have a lot of commotion here in the fort. That's one thing for sure. So we also do have a lot of unhappiness. It's something I wanted to take care of as well. So we're going to grab ourselves today some fine underground wood. As much as I despise the audacity of the elves to just demand of us to not take any more trees from the surface, we got what we need down here, so that's okay for me. I'm just a little bit shocked how long it took for them to accept that job. So if there's a forgotten beast on the march towards us, we can easily get ourselves behind our soldiers. Wait a sec, soldiers? Hey soldiers, where are you? So they are supposed to be training. So what I think that has happened is a typical issue that I often have with my soldiers underground. They're taking apartments in the rest of the fortress, and then they are not really inclined to sleep anywhere else than in their apartments. It takes a bit of micromanagement to get them out of there, but I think that might be exactly what has transpired there. Well, it's a bit unfortunate. But there is no ancient beast in Cavern Slayer 1. It's deeper. I have seen that on the by the topography. So currently it is safe to do things down here. Alright. We're getting in some nice amounts of extra gabbro here. At least something. Alright. Okay. So, I also think it is time to go for a big purge with all the animals that we got here in the pen. It has become just too full. I know it's highly unproductive and I should probably just set up auto-slaughtering, but I want a quick fix and I keep forgetting about that, so we're going to do that. This way we're going to get in a huge amount of bone and probably a bit of our FPS back. But I dare to assume that's mostly about the massive amount of work orders that are being fulfilled on the surface. Because as far as I have learned, this game's major problem is the amount of people that see each other. You know, whenever a dwarf sees another dwarf, they check their relations and how they react to each other, and you know, we have a huge migration from of workers here back and forth. But I cannot really stop that from happening, so... And I don't want to, on the other end. So... let's see. I think I have scraped out by now the last bits of this Gabbro pit. I think there will be not that much more that we can excavate here. There are a few last things, but yeah, so many damp water designators. Part of me just wants to slam open the damp stone and just turn this into a massive water reservoir. Which wouldn't be a smart idea at all. But I am quite happy to see how much extra stone I was able to procure from this last-ditch effort, you know? I didn't expect to find that much mineable area still. I thought we would have been out of business much earlier. So... But still, this is the last thing. Oh! The Forgotten Beast is actually inside here. Huh. Silly old me. Oh well, okay. We got ourselves heroes. And the squad needs a new leader. Shame. But we struck down another monster. That's good, isn't it? Ah, overconfidence. Good old killer. So, I'm happy that everything went down without the death of more people, you know? Because here comes the rest of the guys, so... This could have been much worse if the Forgotten Beast would have been inside this commotion here. Oh boy. I consider myself very, very lucky there. But on the other hand, it's only partially luck. I mean, it was no coincidence that we've had the squad here, you know. I did that because this could happen. Alright, so we got logs, paid for in blood. Let's see. I hope I still have enough tombs left. Well, let's create ourselves 2 extra tombs here in the center of this. But I think I need to think about extra burial spots as well. Speaking about burial spots, yep, my Duchess is happy with her premises. Wonderful. Okay, my friends, we're making progress, don't we? So, they did deconstruct now the floor and the wall? Huh. Right. Interesting. So, Gabbro. And no more slate. Let's see if that works out another time. Because that was surely not what I intended. Work into these, you fools. But at least we got the Gabbro blocks right back after, so there's nothing lost or so. Oh, it's going on so fast. I love it. We're making such fast progress, although every new layer of floor here triggers a huge wave of lag. We're getting closer to the border, guys. We're getting closer to the border. I can't wait to have the water falling down here, covering the plaza in fine mist. It's gonna be a long way until we're done with that, but it's quite exciting to see how such a huge project is slowly coming to shape, coming to reality. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Good feels. Not so good feels about the walls of the fortress itself. These are really, really annoying me a tad bit. So let's see. Yeah, that tomb isn't really assigned to anybody. That's good news. That's a piece of good news. So from now on, actually, we can also smelt down all ores that we find. It doesn't matter anymore because we don't use any fuel, so we can do that as often and as much as we please. This is also a big piece of progress for us. Good, good. So those things are happening now. We don't need the charcoal anymore. That's a thing of the past. It's also a quite nice thing. And with the procured wood from the Forgotten Beasts attack, well, it's not quite the right way to put it, but two things were, at the end of the day, attached to one another. So we will put up cage traps here. Just figured that this will increase the safety of this area quite massively. There we go. Those constant skull designators there, because we're slaughtering out animals like crazy, also are making me kind of nervous. So, what I now meant to do the whole time was to find out how that monster is named. So, this was Urmimshaduk Nidost. So, Urmimshaduk. Right on. So intuitively. So. No, wait a sec. I first need to designate a metal for this bad boy. Because, you know, I don't want to select any metal. We have selection by now. So we're going to craft iron. Don't have enough other metals yet, I just realized. So iron statues of Urmimshaduk. Swim dives the ferocious. So, towering skinless elephant. Jeez. Boy oh boy. How on earth does a skinless elephant look like? I'm not gonna visualize that, I'm afraid. So we're going to make 2 statues of that beast. And let's see what the history will provide. Nice. So, this place is really coming together. I'm just a little bit sad that I botched up the last Magma workshop here, but maybe that's just a precursor of the workshops that we're going to create in the future. Who knows? So, I'm gonna monitor what's happening here a little bit more closely, but at the end of the day, in all honesty, I am not too worried about the safety and well-being of miners and woodcutters. They are, if they are meeting just troglodyte or anything like that, well capable of taking down a beast by themselves. No probs. Because once you become a legendary of something, you really become quite a badass at the same time. So, yeah. I just realized that there's a lot of gemstone around here. Sadly, again, the logistics of these areas are a little bit nightmarish, so I'm monitoring what's happening here a little bit more closely. I mean, the good stuff is that we got a lot of timber that we can pick up here, and as long as no web spitter monster is showing up, I don't see any reasons why I should stop the collection of things here, because, you know, it's just that good. Alright, a tad bit of unhappiness spreading here in the fort, but I don't think it's anything that is out of the ordinary. I'm gonna look between the episodes a little bit deeper into the needs and things of my fortress happening here. That I might be missing. Wow, tower cap. What a massive amount of logs. So, yeah, and we keep finding, of course, here huge amounts of other gemstone. The caverns are a quite rich environment, simply because you can see quite far. You know, a lot of areas are just opened up and you don't need to explore in any way or dig too far. You can just see where the stuff's at, and this gives you quite an advantage when you're just looking for a gemstone or something like that. Which is quite good. Currently, I want to have some more, but we're not going to open any of these chambers here. These can be quite dangerous. There could be a fireball in there, a treasure, a demon, everything. Always open these with care. If there's diamond around, emeralds, fire, all those super valuable stones, this is always a warning that it might become quite rough if you open that carefree. Alright, so the cavern opening did cost us one of our soldiers, but on the other hand, it did give us access to wood. We're finally back on track with wood production. The new beds that our guys will be sleeping in will be sourced out of subterranean wood. It's a pretty nice thing, and a pretty big step forward for the fortress. Also quite good that we nailed down the Forgotten Beast. That means we got now the dominance over the area, so to say. As long as there's no new surprise coming on up, we can stay there. So, we got one iron statue there. The other one doesn't seem to be done yet. I don't mind them being not decorated or anything. It's not that important. After all, it's more about having some reminders of the adventures of the people here. So, with the green glass blocks, we maybe could go for some nice engravings or some... Oh boy. So we have bird people again, but luckily my military is going between that super quick. They just slaughter whatever is going after our people there. The buzzard people just hate my fortress and try to attack my people from time to time. I assume that most of the unhappiness in my fortress stems also from these constant bird people attacks. Bet that the bridge builders hate those guys. Yeah, there's another one. So this time I'm getting ahead of you. There we go. Kill the bird man. Please stay. Okay. Where did that thing go? Okay, so that at least explains to me where the problems come from at the surface. But so far, the military seem to be capable of taking care of all that quite effectively, so... Let's get back to the caverns and see if everything is going on there as intended. Brilliant. So... let's check back into the fortress. There's still a little bit more storage space in here. Tell you what, I'm going to expand my log storage space here. Why is there so much weaponry lying around? Oh, I guess it's because I deconstructed the forges there. I bet that's the reason why. Alright, beautiful. So we got people here injured, so... civilians got gutted by the beasts. It's a shame. hopefully nobody will die from the fallout of that attack. At this point, I'm quite happy that the entire squad was present when that thing attacked. For a moment, I imagined what would have happened if they were all busy sleeping when that thing was prowling into the fortress. Don't want to think about that too detailed. So, what do we have here? A statue of Swim Dives the Ferocious. It's a picture of the monster and a rooster. Alright. Swim Dives is devouring the rooster. How imaginative. Oh, that actually has happened in the year 61. So you document when that thing eats somebody's rooster? Seriously, dwarves? That's something worth noting. Right. The tragic death of a rooster, immortalized in a statue cast out of iron. Well, somebody understand artists. I certainly don't. So here we can now finally see the construction, how I want it to come down by the end. So the water will flow into this direction, and there will be openings here. Let's give you a bit of a better visualization. So I'll have bridges here or something like that, which will seal off the water, but if we want to, we can just flood the entire bridge with water. The only thing that I haven't figured out yet is where I will drain the water from the bridge, but maybe we will just bring some hatch covers that can be clanked open by a lever downstairs. I think I'm gonna make it that easy, because we can't just drain the bridge by dumping the water back into the ocean. I think this is the easiest way to drain the trap. Alright, so, but to achieve that, we need to set up a long wall here. So finally putting in some small details here. So I'm leaving open this area here a little bit. So I also do like the fact that this showed me that I don't need to put down flooring at that part. I can just slap a piece of wall there and that's that. So, speaking about that's that, we are reaching the end of the map here. There's only one tiny thing left. I'm not connecting it this time because the last time I tried to, it did make the game go boom, and somehow everything went weird with the construction, and my dwarves didn't react too well to that. But the bridge is almost reaching the horizon, so technically we would be then reaching the other side of the continent. Practically, I'm not going to illustrate that too realistically. Like I said in another episode, I would actually need now to set up another fortress on the other side of that to make it realistic, which would be basically a mirrored project to this one, and I don't like that too much. So the buzzard people are also not liking me too much. They're making more and more of my people unhappy. So that's another day's problem, though, I assume. So for today, I think we are just fine with that. So my good friends, I am outroing at this point. We will look at this statue, though. So here we have an illustration about how swim dives killed a dwarf 60 plus years ago. So maybe the dwarf and the rooster died together. Maybe that's what happened there. Either way, I don't really care about it too much, but I feel like we're going to set our engraver to a classy task and make that place a little bit more beautiful. And we have, of course, it is the outro. Of course, somebody starts building an artifact. This is slowly turning into sort of a meme here, because this is really not the second or third time, but more like the fifth time or something like that happening. But, well, we'll see about that in the next episode. I thank you so much for watching. Drop me your comments, leave me your thumbs up, consider subscribing, and of course, check out Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. They are the topmost links, and they are the best ways to support this channel. If you'd be so kind, I'd be very happy. And a big thanks at this point to the supporters. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a fine day. Not only the supporters, of course, but everybody watching this video until the very end. I deeply appreciate you hanging around, and I hope you had a good time. See you all next time. Bye-bye.